Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the Alpha Career Week. We are very happy to have all of you here. Today we have a great workshop with Phil and Dipankar about LinkedIn. So I'm going to pass over to Dipankar, who's going to start the presentation. And if you also can just introduce yourself quickly, okay, Dipankar? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Devi. So my apologies for not having my picture on, my video on. And as you can imagine, this is this is a class on LinkedIn. So I think the focus should be really on what we're going to talk about next. But to give you guys an idea about my background, so I came to Canada not very long ago, about 7, 8 years ago, as an international student myself. I completed my master's in business administration from New York University School of Business. And before that, I trained as a surgeon in India. So I did my MD from India, followed by a residency in general surgery. And then in addition to working in clinical medicine, I've also worked extensively in the industry. So I was working with finance and insurance. And then I was working with big pharma. And then I worked with some of the major organizations like Mount Sinai Hospital and Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada before starting my own enterprise. So that's a little bit about me. And because I have done a little bit of experience, I've lived experience as an international student, as an entrepreneur, as an employee. So I kind of know how crucial LinkedIn or social media platforms can be for promoting yourself, for trying to get a job, or for trying to get a promotion. And therefore, that's one of the things I do. In my time at Alpha, I try and bring value to the classes by telling students how they can benefit by learning some skills which can help them transition from their international experience to a successful Canadian workplace or Canadian organization for that matter. And in the same vein, I think it's very important that we often ignore the importance of LinkedIn, which is kind of overlooked many times. In my generation, it used to be Facebook, and now it's Insta for that matter, or Snapchat. But we often ignore the value of a social media platform like LinkedIn for professional networking and for opportunities. So this workshop today is actually between me and my fellow professor, Phil Lim. We're going to cover LinkedIn and how you can really use LinkedIn as a tool to market yourself. And we'll also talk about some of the do's and don'ts. So Phil is going to come in and we'll go from there. So without any further ado, let me first start about talking about how you can create a good student profile on LinkedIn. We know that many of our students do not have a LinkedIn profile, or if they have one, they have been dormant, inactive for a long time. So the recommendation is to follow 10 simple steps to create a profile, which is a great tool to market yourself to potential recruiters. And remember, as I was mentioning earlier, a good profile versus a bad profile can mean the difference between getting a job and not getting a job. It can also mean getting a great job versus getting a not so great job. Okay, so that's why it's important to learn what are these steps and how you can make yourself more visible and more marketable on social media professionally. So let's look at those 10 steps, and very simple steps. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my own profile that I have learned over a period of time, and I'll showcase that to you and kind of give you some hints about what to do and what not to do in many cases. So the first step that you need to do is of course, you have to create your profile. And once you create a profile, you have to create a headline, followed by choosing a photograph. Okay, so the photograph has to be a professional one because you are trying to look like somebody who's serious about getting a job. This is not Facebook, this is not Snapchat, this is not a dating tool, it's more of a professional tool. So pick up a picture which is professional looking. Data tells us that people with a good high quality photograph are likely to have 7 times more views of their profile than somebody without a professional looking photograph. Okay, so I'll give you an example of my own profile. So this is me. Of course, the first thing you need to do is go to LinkedIn, and then once you create your profile, you go to this edit section. See this little icon here, and then you can basically edit anything about yourself. Okay, so this is the headline section. The headline always has to be a short 1-sentence statement. It should be a very small summary of exactly what is it that you want to tell the world about yourself. Okay, so in my case, for example, I use the fact that I'm using artificial intelligence to build better healthcare. I do a lot of other things as well, but my focus is on this aspect. The same thing might be relevant for you. In some of my classes, the students say that they're a student at Alpha, trying to get a career in their chosen field, and that might be enough for you. Just remember that this is your key, this is your headline, this first part, your headline should always be a one sentence, very extremely concise narration about what is it that you want to tell the world. And then of course the picture, I hope that's a professional looking picture. You have something similar, that's great. Otherwise, please get a professional picture. So with your headline and your picture, you now move to step number 3, which is showing off your education. Why? Because you want to tell the world that you are actually studying, you're doing a course, you're studying you're enrolled in a particular course, in a certification, in a program in Canada that you're learning about, and that shows potential recruiters and hirers that you are, or hiring managers for that matter, that you are serious about a particular line of career. Now, for example, if you want to pursue a career in healthcare, you might show off on your profile that you're pursuing a healthcare related course at Alpha College. Similarly, if you're trying to pursue a career in supply chain management or tourism or hospitality, you can accordingly do the same. And that just tells the recruiters that you are somebody who's not just interested in a career, but is also taking steps actively to learn something about that particular sector. Important to remember that you should always, as far as possible, mention your schools, what kind of courses you've studied, and don't be shy if you have, and this is common with a lot of our students from Asia, many of you are shy about showing off your GPAs or your scores or your tests scores or your honors or awards. Please make sure you don't do that. Okay, so this is an example of my profile. The fact that I went to med school in India, that I did my MBA, and the kind of the clubs that we are part of, the extracurriculars I did, all of that is listed on my profile, and you should do something similar. Remember, the idea is not to hold yourself back, but at the same time, don't be overly bragful about what you have done. Okay, be very careful about managing the two, but make sure you tell the world what is it that you're trying to achieve and how that aligns with your interests in terms of eventually switching to a career. Then we move to step 4 and 5. What are steps 4 and 5? Again, two very simple steps. Step number 4 is developing a professional summary. Now, the summary statement on LinkedIn is a little different from the headline. Remember, I said the headline should always be a one sentence, very short shout out to the world as to what you're trying to achieve. The summary has to be a little bit more detailed. Usually, the recommendation is the summary should be a 2 or 3 sentence long statement, really. And you should think of it this way. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the idea of concept of cover letter, but again, this is something you should be aware of if you're trying to apply to jobs here in Canada, in North America. So what you should do is you should look at your cover letter. A cover letter really is like your short, concise advertisement about why you are the best candidate for a potential job, how you think you're the best candidate, and then choose 3 or 4 sentences from the best cover letter that you have written. And those sentences should talk about your goals, your qualifications, the kind of work you've done, and your extracurricular activities that you have participated in. So any kind of leadership experience, any kind of volunteering experience, all of that could be mentioned in your professional summary. Just remember to keep it concise, not more than 3 or 4 sentences. Equally important is to follow step 5, which is to list your skills and your expertise. This section is especially important because this is the one that is used by recruiters to find candidates who match their job listings. So for example, if I'm running a company which uses artificial intelligence in healthcare, then I'll be looking for experience and expertise in machine learning, or for example, natural language processing. And I'll use those keywords to search for candidates who have the right experience, okay? So imagine if your profile, let me do this. So imagine your profile, so this is you, your profile has a mention of natural language processing, or for example, a mention of machine learning expertise, right? And I'm looking for, so the hiring manager is looking for a candidate with the same skills. Naturally, LinkedIn's algorithm is such that those candidates who have these keywords in their skill profile will be pushed to the recruiter, and that way you have a much better chance of getting highlighted to the recruiter than somebody who does not use the skills, these keywords in their skills. Okay, so please remember at step 5, you need to make sure that you're using the key skills and the expertise in your keywords as part of your LinkedIn profile. How can you do that? Very simple. This is the first part. you talk about your summary. My summary statement talks about my past experience. It also talks about briefly the kind of work I've done and what I'm trying to differentiate myself compared to everybody else. Step 5, again, is if you can look at this, I have used my skill set, which I think are relevant to appeal to any particular job. So you can do the same thing. You can list your top skills, top 3 or 4 or 5 that you want to really highlight, and then you can use the other ones. Remember, you can always tweak this based on the kind of jobs you want to apply to. This is not a constant, this is fluid. You can change this based on what kind of jobs you're trying to apply to. So depending on whether it's a supply chain job or whether it's a warehouse job or it's a customer service job, you can always switch your skills and highlight the ones that you think are relevant. Okay, important also to remember is that your skills can be endorsed by your colleagues, by your supervisors, by your managers, by your peers, and endorsement just gives it added strength to your skill set to tell the recruiters that it's not just you who's saying you're good in something, but the whole world thinks you're good in that. So that's about skills and endorsement. Now, steps 6 to 10 are again kind of crucial, but we are somewhat aware of all of this, right? Because anybody who's on social media, who uses any kind of media, Snapchat or Insta, you know that it's extremely important to update your status regularly in order to stay relevant. So just like your friends would not remember you if they don't see your status regularly on Insta, for example, recruiters probably will not be tracking you. You will not be on their radar unless you keep posting once in a while. So again, remember, the idea is to post things which are professional. So talk about a book that you might be reading, talk about an event that you might be attending, talk about a project, interesting project that you might be working on. Use that kind of a status update once in a while, if you cannot do it frequently, to keep updating your status regularly. And that's what is helpful from a recruitment and a job search point of view. Step 7 is to show your connectedness. What does it mean? Our connections, we are all social animals, as you know, especially in COVID, as you are realizing. Without your social connections, we are not as efficient in terms of our performance as otherwise. So it's important for you to show your connectedness on LinkedIn. What does it mean? It means that you should show the kind of groups you belong to. For example, if you're at St. Lawrence or if you're at Alpha College, you should try and connect to the alumni groups of Alpha College or of St. Lawrence, and then you should show that as part of your LinkedIn profile. It will show up. I'll just give you an example. Similarly, if you have worked at, let's say, Domino's Pizza, or if you have worked at Home Depot or Amazon, you can join the employees group there, the official ones, and you can show them on your LinkedIn profile. What it does, it actually corroborates and supports and enhances your profile by showing to potential recruiters and hiring managers that you actually belong to those groups. So it just shows the amount of engagement you have with your industry groups and peers. Okay, for students, especially for those of you who are at Alpha or coming to St. Lawrence, you can actually start by showing or showcasing your industry, your university groups on your LinkedIn profile. Step number 8 is to try and collect recommendations. Why are recommendations important? As you can imagine, many of you do that from your instructors. You ask for a recommendation to get a step into the door, right? So for example, if you're applying to a job and the job says references, that's fine. But even before references, if you imagine a recruiter is just looking at your LinkedIn profile and then see that you have recommendations from your supervisor, from your manager, it just shows that you have an impressive work ethic and that you have a very strong candidacy for any particular job. So recommendations are equally important. I'm going to just quickly cover steps 9 and 10 very briefly, and then I'm going to show you a few more slides and hopefully then pass it on to Phil. So step number 9 is tricky. Not many people are aware, but remember that you can always create a unique LinkedIn URL. By default, LinkedIn gives you a default URL. What does it mean? So for example, in my case, it might give me an URL which might say www.linkedin.com, and then it might say Dipankar, Nath, and then it might have a number 1, 2, 3, or whatever, right? I can change that. And I can make it easy for anyone to remember. And I could just replace this Dipankar Nath number by something which is easily rememberable for people, or something that recollect. I might just say Deep Nath. And as long as that ID or that URL is available, LinkedIn will make it available to you. This is a neat little trick, especially if you're including your URL on job applications. It's really, really useful to get remembered, okay, to get easy recollection in the recruiting managers or the hiring manager's mind. Finally, do not forget to share your work. If you think you have a good quality of portfolio, or if you have a work that you or project that you'd like to showcase or share with the world, make sure you do that. Why? Again, this is to build in credibility. This is to show the world and the potential recruiter that you can produce excellent quality of work, and therefore indirectly you're telling them, hey, come and take a look at my work and look at the quality of work I can deliver if you hire me. So very quickly now, without any further, very quickly looking at this. So this is an example of the kind of groups that I show on my LinkedIn profile. And as you can see, anybody who looks at this will basically think, okay, this guy is very, is interested in the healthcare sector in Ontario. He is into medical devices, and then he's also into regulatory affairs and so on. So that gives an idea to the person or the hiring manager or the recruiter to get a sense of the kind of taste you have, the kind of interests you have. Okay. This is the group's part of interest. And similarly, this is my recommendation page. So as you can see, I've given 6 references and I've received 6. These are from a wide variety of people, including the people that I've worked with in the past, including my colleagues at Sherlick and so on and so forth. Again, this is just to drive home the point that once you have a profile like this and you have recommendations, it becomes so much more reassuring to the hiring manager that you are the candidate that will deliver for them, and they don't have to worry about whether you're the right candidate or not. Okay, so these are briefly the main points. Now the question is, once you have learned this, what is it that you're going to do with this? You have to first of all figure out, these are the 2 important questions, my friends. Okay, first of all, you have to figure out what kind of career do you want to choose for yourself, what kind of job you want to choose for yourself, and then based on what we learned today, and hopefully what you'll probably learn a little bit in future, the kind of actions you'll take to modify your LinkedIn profile in order to make it better. For example, if you want to get a job in, let's say in Amazon, then you should tweak your profile such that it reflects your interest in operations management or a warehouse, for example, and then maybe take away any part of your LinkedIn profile which does not speak to that particular aspect of your career or interest. Finally, this is what it ends up looking at the recruiter's end. So for example, if I was a recruiter and I was looking at hiring an engineer, and I was looking at a location and the kind of skills I'm looking at, inevitably LinkedIn throws me, the algorithm of LinkedIn throws in some of those candidates to me, and this is based on the kind of words or keywords that the candidates have in their profile. Okay, so that's why it's very important to understand the power of LinkedIn, especially in today's day and age when social media is being used for pretty much everything. Okay, so that gives you a brief idea about LinkedIn, why it's important, and how to go about, for a student, how to go about creating a profile on LinkedIn. With that, I think I'm going to pass it on to Phil now, and over to you, Phil, for talking more about how students can use LinkedIn. So over to you, Phil. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Phil Lim. I've been in the hospitality industry for over 20 years. So started off in restaurants and then hotels, and then into the education, higher education, and with Alpha now, just almost about 3 years now. So I'm going to share about the features and benefits on LinkedIn. And we'll just pull up my slide here. Okay, you guys can see that. So the 10 LinkedIn features and benefits you need to know. So I'm going to talk a little bit, some of it that is on the LinkedIn app that you can download. Okay, if you have the downloaded app, so the feature number 1 is the voice record your message. You hold on to this record here. So let's say if somebody has sent you a message, and if you're too busy driving or doing something else, you can just hold on to this button on the LinkedIn app, and you can just reply back with your message, and it would just send a recorded voice message when you speak into the microphone using the app. So that's one of the beautiful things that have in the LinkedIn app. Okay, so feature number 2, the salary discovery, your earning potential. The benefits of this is seeing a detailed breakdown of the salaries by job title and location. And I would have to take you into my LinkedIn profile just to show you where it is here. And also what it gives you is the average of the salary of a position, let's say you were looking up for, that you're going to apply. Okay. Feature number 3, I think what we can do is go into the LinkedIn my profile, and then I can show you exactly where things are. You guys want me to do that? I can do that now, or we can just do that after, or just through every slide, because I would just have to stop it and go back into the feature number 2. So for feature number 3, uploading a resume. Okay, so I'm going to probably have to do it here to show you exactly where it is on LinkedIn. It's pretty fast and easy to apply for a job on LinkedIn. When you see this easy button, this in easy apply, right? So how to upload the resume on LinkedIn is you're going to click on your me folder in the tabs. It's in the right on the top right side on LinkedIn. If you're using the desktop, you go into your settings and your privacy, and then you're going to click on job seeking preferences. From there, you're going to go on to quick job application settings, and then you're going to click on upload your resume. Okay, so it accepts the DOC, the doc, the DOCX, and the PDF format, and it's only 5 megabytes. So just make sure you're aware of that. Turn on the save and manage your resume and answers. Okay, because you're probably gonna have to go through all that, and then share your profile when you click on apply. This will help increase the chances of being viewed by sharing your full profile with the job poster that you have taken off LinkedIn to apply for, and then you're going to click on the yes. So that's the beauty of uploading a resume through using a desktop. Okay, and then the other way you can do it also is through the LinkedIn app. When you go onto the LinkedIn app and you're searching for a job, you're going to see probably a job icon. Okay, you're going to see that some of the job postings, they have that little in that says easy apply. Those ones there, when you're applying for those, you can do it right away with your already uploaded resume. The other ones that you're applying for on LinkedIn, it might take you to the company web page where you have to apply on their website. But the easy one is with that in, you can apply right away, and you just send your resume. It goes right to them. Also, if you haven't done it before on LinkedIn, it's going to get you the first time when you're doing it on the app to fill in your home address and all the other information, upload a photo. If you don't have a photo, your work experience, your education, and additional information. And then it'll ask you to review and then submit. So you'll see a little suitcase, okay, like this on LinkedIn. That's where the easy apply is. Let me just share here. So on my LinkedIn profile here, what I was saying there, you go to the me, right? You have the settings, and then you're going to go to where is it down here? job seeking preference, and then you're going to see here the job seeking preferences here, job application settings. All right, you see I already have uploaded a resume. So when you go in here, it's going to get you to upload a resume. So you just, after you have put your resume in here, you're just going to click upload, and it's all done for you. So it's already saved in on LinkedIn. And you got to make sure this is turned on. Okay, so when you save and manage your resume and answers, you make sure that's turned on. So that's the beauty of having your resume uploaded on LinkedIn. Okay. Let me know if I'm going a little bit too fast there. Okay, LinkedIn also offers the LinkedIn Learning, right? The benefits of that is it's you know, you can always upgrade or educate yourself, continuous learning with all the different courses LinkedIn offers. So they offer certificates if you are have the upgraded LinkedIn pay account, but sometimes they might have the free one certificate. For example, like the one I just did here on LinkedIn. So it'll give you a free one at times, but not too often that that you get that. So the beauty of that is when you completed one of these courses, it's going to already upload the skills onto your LinkedIn profile and show that you have completed it. And sometimes how you're going to find out about these free ones is that in your LinkedIn feed, sometimes it will pop it up. It'll come up in your feed, and you'll see a free course. And if you like to explore taking on the free course, you click onto it, and it'll give you a little overview, and then you just click on the videos, and you'll see in the videos that there's a little either maybe the first three let's say for example the first 3 videos were free. Okay, and then you see another the rest of the videos is locked, a little lock icon, and that means it's not totally all free. So if you see them all unlocked, the whole course is free, so you can take advantage of that. All right. So that's the beauty of having the LinkedIn, because it also adds to your skills and skills that you might want to, I guess, add to your profile for recruiters and when you're doing your job search and they're looking at your profile. Feature number 5, LinkedIn events. So there's a page there. If you click on the events there, it'll take you to all the different events that people have been posting on LinkedIn. Okay, and also you can see the discussions of some of them. You might see them. Some of them you have to pay. Some of them you are free. So you can, if you're interested to join, you can click on the free ones and see what's going on. Because now during this pandemic, mostly all these events are online on Zoom or other platforms. So when we get back to the new normal with events outside in the community, the best part of this is just getting back out there and networking with the people you probably already met on LinkedIn or you haven't seen on LinkedIn for a while. All right, and reconnecting and see what's new. What's new? What are the new trends? What are the getting out there and also socializing and find out if you meet other new adding new connections, and any job openings you might find from people you network with. So it's a great thing. And also volunteering, which I find that when you get into these events that you can also volunteer. And the beauty of volunteering is I always encourage my students to get out there and volunteer. And sometimes some of these events are really expensive and you can't you don't want to pay to get to attend these events. So my little trick is, when it comes to events and you have to pay and you can't volunteer. But the good thing about using LinkedIn is, when you're searching these events and they're paid events that you want to attend because it might be in your industry and it's educational, and you want to connect to some of the top leaders in the industry, and you want to get closer to them to network. So what I usually do is I would go into the LinkedIn events and I would find out who the event planner is, or the coordinator, and try to connect with them. Try to send them an email, connect with them, or if you can find their email in the event page, send them an email and say, I highly interested in volunteering for your event, and let them know that you're available, you're in the industry and you want to learn, and you have a lot to offer. So and what happens is they're mostly going to accept volunteers. So that's how I get into events that are paid events, and I encourage students to do the same thing. So you can get closer and network with highly professional people. And another thing about using the events page and volunteering is getting a thank you letter also to add to your profile, right, in your digital portfolio from the event planner or the coordinator, the organizer. Feature number 6, LinkedIn personal invites. So we have, a lot of people are gonna send you invites. You might be strangers that you don't know yet, or they somehow found you through another platform or social media. All right, so you just gotta be aware that whoever you're accepting, that you know them. The same thing when you're sending an invite out, you know them, because here on LinkedIn, how do you know Kristen? They'll show either a colleague, a classmate, a business partner, a friend, or other, or I don't know Kristen. And sometimes if you don't, it's gonna take you to a page to say their email address. You have to have their email address and then send it, connect. What I find out with invitations, especially the people who don't who send you an invitation and you don't know them, is there's got to be a reason why they want to connect with you. Either it's your profile is somewhat interesting, if you have that awesome LinkedIn profile, right? And if they have read your profile and they know what you can offer and bring to the table. Some people will send you an invite, but they don't look at your profile. And what I notice is that once you accept their invite, because they might be because of their title, might interest you, that you want to meet with highly professional people on LinkedIn. And what I find out is, after that, I have accepted it, that they'll start sending you a spam, that they're trying to sell you something right away without even building a relationship and looking at your profile. And then there's also, when you send out an invite, you don't want to just send it through the default setting, okay, where it just says invite. You want to make sure you want to make it personal. I always make it personal. Even if you're networking and you're at an event and you collected their business cards, I highly recommend to take notes and write it on the back of the business card. Okay, and also when you connect with them afterwards, to thank them thank them and meeting them at so and so event, and I like to connect with you. Feature number 7, LinkedIn groups. The groups are really, really important, and there's so many of them out there. If you type into the search bar on LinkedIn, based on your field, what you're looking for. You're gonna find that there's so many that will pop up on LinkedIn. So you can join the group. Some of them will have the join here. Some of them you might have to be accepted to the group because they're private. Okay, but you can click on it and see if you can get and join the group. They'll have to look at your profile and see if you're somewhat of a person that is in that industry. For example, because I was in the hospitality industry, and they can see my LinkedIn profile. I have a lot of hospitality event background. That they'll say, oh yeah, this person's this person is legit. They'll accept you into the group. Okay, you can also create a group and be the organizer of a group. Okay, the owner of the group on LinkedIn, and then try to build it up by inviting others to join your group. A lot of these groups also have terms and conditions that you're probably not aware of. People don't really read, but they were mostly going to ask that, depending on the group, not to spam people, right? So, and the groups on LinkedIn, it lets other people see you that you're serious about your career in your industry. You also find other people in the groups that will connect with you, and you might want to connect with others also with the same interests. And so also, it also, you might find opportunities and trends, what's going on in the discussions. It's highly recommended when you join groups to participate in the discussions, right? So people can see that, you're the professional, or you like to learn more things by getting other people who have a lot of experience in these groups. When the discussions are open up widely, a lot of people will be participating, depending on the interests of the topic. Feature number 8 is the job search. That's why I guess this is the most important part of LinkedIn for the students, is finding a job after they graduate. And this is the beauty and the benefit of being on LinkedIn, is finding the jobs that are not posted anywhere else, right? And the other thing is getting the job postings that you be first to know, and then you can also be the first or the couple people to apply right away, right? And also you can find out with the job posting does your skills match the position, right? So some of the ways on LinkedIn to search for jobs is you can go into the LinkedIn search bar there and type in jobs, right? And you'll see all the jobs will pull up, all the results for your search. The other option is if you clicked on jobs, there's also recent. It'll show you also your recent searches and what was recommended for you below that, the list of jobs. You can also click on the notifications, right? Some job alerts will show in the notification feed. And then also on LinkedIn, number 4 here, there's 3 little dots next to the search bar at the top right. If you're using the desktop, you can click on and manage your job alerts, and also click job recommendations. I'll have to take you there to show you, and then click yes to activate. Okay, on LinkedIn, and also set the alert frequency to daily or weekly, and get notified. Either you want to be notified by email notification, or just email, or just notification. So that's the LinkedIn app. You'll see the icon on jobs, and click on it, and you also recent searches and recommended for you, which Not sure you guys can see this, but the LinkedIn app here, okay, you see the icon here. I'm not sure you guys can see that. So it has here, see my jobs, manage job alerts, and prepare for interview and post a job. When you click on that, can you guys see that? So that will come up on the app when you click on that 3 little dots. And then you can manage the settings either through the app or through your desktop. Feature number 9 is LinkedIn also came up with another new feature on the app, your story. Okay, the benefits of that is it's pretty fast and easy to broadcast a short clip or about anything, like a video, a photo, or a marketing clip. And it's got to be less than 10 seconds, right? You can do a few short clips or just one. And your connections will see it. So if you're on the app, it's right at the top here next to your picture. When you click on, when you click it on, you're going to see that whoever's posted one will start showing the clips of the story. So that is somebody who doesn't want to post on LinkedIn or not sure what to post yet, but want to do little short clips, or just like this a sample here, this little sales cartoon. So that's one of the new features on LinkedIn you can utilize. Feature number 10 is the sync contacts. The benefits is it's faster to build your network connections on LinkedIn, especially if you're just starting off and it's a new account that you're just setting up your account on LinkedIn. It's gonna ask you when you go to your photo at the right top corner, and then click on the settings and the privacy, and then click on account preferences, and then you're gonna click on sync options, and then click sync contacts. All right, so when you click on one of the following, it's going to offer you all these different email that you probably have, email addresses of all your contacts or people you have been in contact with, right? So it'll sync your Google if you agree to it and say yes, and also your Outlook for personal and for work contacts, and also your phone contact. So you were to sync all those contacts on LinkedIn, it's gonna let your contacts know that you have joined at LinkedIn, right? And you're gonna get connection requests with follow because they know you have signed up to LinkedIn. Right, so you're gonna probably see people that you haven't contacted or been in contact for many years. So that's the beauty of it, that you can add your connections pretty fast by using this platform and using one of these this benefit, the feature and benefits. Another option LinkedIn also gives you is that you can sync your Google and phone calendar. So if you were doing like, for example, going back to the events, and you want to add the events date and time to your calendar, right? You can sync all that, and it will save it for you, so you'll have all your dates for all your events and what's happening in your Google or your phone calendar. So the do's and don'ts on LinkedIn is, I came up with a list here, what to do, what to don't do. So the do for students who just are new to LinkedIn, or just also who are currently on LinkedIn, build your network, right? Okay, so that's a good thing. Either if you're not, with the sync feature and benefit number 10, or when you're going out there for events, volunteering or networking, and connecting with people. It took me years to get to the connections I have today, because I have done a lot of volunteering, a lot of events, to get out there and connect with people. So that's how I grew mine pretty quick. It's just connecting with people. Share and post articles. Okay. You can once you're on LinkedIn, you're going to see that you can share and post articles of your expertise, or like I said, Dipankar, I was mentioning, anything that you see that's professional that you can post up there that is either inspirational. You see a lot of people posting quotes, or business related, or marketing, like a flyer or something. Videos. A lot of videos are happening now because that's the latest thing on LinkedIn. So you can see a lot of video postings. Okay, not everybody is want to be on the camera, but that is totally up to the person who, if you feel like you have a great video to put up there. But some people, you don't have to be having a great video, they're saying. It's just get it up there, just put it up, and post it, right? So that helps being active on LinkedIn. Being active is another thing for people to notice you. So you're going to see that the more you're active on LinkedIn, you're going to see people who are viewing your profile. People want to connect with you. And also it, like I said, recruiters. They're going to probably recruiters, other companies, maybe other HR people, managers, people see that you're the professional, that they want to connect with you. It might open up also job opportunities. Follow companies, like we just talked about. Follow in groups, joining groups. I highly recommend students also to follow companies. Sorry there, my throat's getting dry there. So follow companies. What I usually tell students is, if you have your goals, and your goals are to work for Amazon or for Google or for IBM, for example, get on LinkedIn and follow them. Follow those companies, right? If that's the company, that's your dream company that you want to work for, follow them and see what's going on inside the company. Find out their personal, their mission statement, their personal branding. Find out who the recruiter is, who the HR person, who managers are. Look at some of their profiles and see what kind of skills that they have that you might need to learn, to add to yours. And also, when you do that, you're going to get the job postings right away, because when they post up a job, you're going to see that it's going to become in your LinkedIn feed there that they're hiring. So that's a good thing about following companies. And you can follow as many as you want, right? And join the groups, right? Like I said, groups are always a good thing too, to get involved and be connected. Create your brand. Be the go-to person. Okay. And as you're building your own personal brand, and you're on this platform, let people know, right? The whole world's out there. It's your opportunity to showcase your own brand. Search jobs, search recruiters, key influencers, mentors, coaches. They're all on LinkedIn, right? So make sure you're following them, and that way you can also get their feeds too on your LinkedIn. Wish someone a happy birthday.
Professor,
Yeah.
I have a question here.
What's the question?
Whether we have to follow the whole company or only follow the rules about the post where we want to apply?
No, you're following the company.
The whole company.
You're following the company, yeah. You're just following the company, and you'll see the job postings when they come up.
Yeah. Thanks, Professor.
No problem. So also, you're also going to see in your feed, if you have set up your LinkedIn profile with your birthday, that's optional. You can also have your birthday only showing to your connections, and not on the profile. When someone types your name in Google search, your birthday won't show up there. Only for your connection. So you can only have it show up for your connection. So what I do is I send a happy birthday to my connections, right, when there's their birthday, right? It's just showing that you acknowledge that you're on LinkedIn and you're being active. So what I usually do is when I wish somebody a happy birthday, I also endorse them. I endorse their skills. I endorse a couple of their skills, right? It's a way of thanking them and being connected. And it shows how you're being active on LinkedIn and building that relationship, personal relationship, just like in when it comes to selling. We talk about building relationship, right? Upload your resume. So we talk about uploading resume, and then the don'ts on LinkedIn. Don't have that unprofessional headshot photo. Right. We all talk about, make sure your background is, is not on the beach or something, or you're at a party or at a bar. You see when you go on LinkedIn, if you view some of the profiles, you'll see some people who have those kind of backgrounds. But make sure you keep it professional, because that's what it's all about, right? You want to make it professional. Your first impressions count. Right, so make sure that first impression counts, just like when you're going to a job interview. We don't post any rude or negative comments on LinkedIn. But excuse me, it's not Facebook or whatever the other platforms, Twitter, whatever. Keep it professional, because they say what you put out there stays out there. Right, so people see that, and when people on LinkedIn who are professionals see someone doing that, it just shows that they won't even hire you, right? Because they're gonna know right away that this person is negative, right? So try not to be negative. Try to be positive, even when you're responding back to other people's posts. And also on LinkedIn, we don't go ask someone out for a date or go to the movies or anything like that. So highly don't do that. Don't spam someone after you're connecting with them, trying to sell them something right away when you don't really know them, and also you haven't reviewed their profile, which people do on LinkedIn. So don't do that. Ask someone that never worked it with you to write you a recommendation. I get this too. People ask me to write them a recommendation, but I don't even know them. I don't even know, and they never work with me. So that's kind of odd there, to get a request like that. Okay. And another thing is, don't lie on your profile. Okay. I had actually someone that I know that worked with me before. What happened, what I noticed is that a lot of past colleagues or students who alumni who get on the LinkedIn and create their profile disappear after, because if it's just they're just doing it for an assignment, and they just get it up there, and then they just leave it and they're not active. And then what happened is they changed jobs. Okay, they changed and they don't update it on their LinkedIn profile. It's like a lie, because what happened is, what I found out as I tried to reconnect and contact the person and say, listen, you don't work for me anymore. Your LinkedIn profile still, you're still working for me, and it's like, what, 6 years ago, and you still have it as present that you're working here. I said, you got to change that, because you're applying for jobs, and what's happening is when you're applying for jobs is you're putting down you're still working for me. And when the HR person, human resources, or the recruiter or the hiring manager has searched your name on LinkedIn, and they see your profile that's shown that you're still active and you're still working with this this company, right? And then what happens if that individual was to call me and say, hey, Phil, this person has applied for the job at this company for this position, and saying that he on his profile he's still active and working there. Is he still working there? And I would have to go, no. You know what I mean? It's like, like, don't lie, because it's all going to catch up on you. It's gonna backfire. So make sure your profile is up to date as much as possible. When you change your job, update your profile. Don't leave it for years and years that you're still. I don't know what the reason was behind it. They just want to make it look like they're still working. So it's just not professional. Okay. Except someone you don't know, unless, right? And so you're gonna get invited, and like I said before, invitations that someone you don't know, that you might have to just look at their profile. And also, not only that, with this platform, and mostly every one of them is created on LinkedIn are real profiles, but LinkedIn sometimes have profiles that are just like any other platform that are fakes. So how do you know if they're a fake? Okay, take that name that somebody has wanted to connect with you. Take that name, type it in the Google search bar, and search their name and see what comes up, right? And see if it matches with the profile, because it might be a fake profile. And it's kind of, actually, I had another story that one of my network connections have put a post out there that said, someone is using my photo on their LinkedIn profile. So they stole someone else's photo to use on their LinkedIn profile, right? And to make it look like they're the person, okay, of this person. Maybe because I don't know why they, the images, maybe, they didn't want to post their image, but they're using someone else's image. Don't do that, okay? We talk about it just like in class, plagiarism, right? You don't do that, and you don't copy someone else's picture, take someone else's photo, and put it on your LinkedIn profile. Also, a good thing about LinkedIn is that you can't go in there and highlight someone else's profile, their bio, and just copy and paste it and put it into yours when you start your LinkedIn profile, right? So that's a good thing. You can't copy and paste. Okay. Except where are we here? I also find out that people who post on LinkedIn, right, they don't realize it, or they're not checking. They post an article, and then when I go and click on it, the URL link is broken. It takes you to a page that is just like, blank. The URL doesn't exist. So when you're posting that article, make sure you check your URL link, okay, before you post it, because what happened is you're going to get people who are going to respond back in the comment and say, the link is broken, it doesn't work. Like, can you repost it, or can you resend the link? it just doesn't look good. So make sure check your URL link before you post an article. Another thing is don't share your password. Okay, just like any other platform, don't share your password. I had people who share their password and then they forget their password, and then what happened is they can't get back on the LinkedIn because someone probably have changed it or hijacked it, but they can't get back on the LinkedIn, and they don't. There's no way to respond back to other the invitations they're getting. They say, like, why didn't you connect with me? I said, oh, I can't use my LinkedIn profile on my LinkedIn because I lost the password and I can't get in, and that's what happens, right? And they don't know how to get a hold of LinkedIn to get rid of that profile. So sometimes what happens also is people create a second profile on LinkedIn, and that is so confusing because I see in the past over call we 2 profiles on LinkedIn with the same name and their same picture, and it's like so confusing because I didn't know which one is the real one or which one that they have access to that they're gonna be responding to my email on LinkedIn. So yes, and they couldn't delete the other one, but I had to explain to them, you gotta get a hold of LinkedIn and get that one removed because it's it's crucial, right? Stalk. Don't be on LinkedIn to stalk people or bully people. Okay, like I said, this is a professional platform here. All right, and the other thing is don't end up in LinkedIn jail. Okay, there is a LinkedIn jail if you're doing all the bad stuff that in the don'ts. Okay, so they'll have you freeze your account for a while. And we have some questions here, or I can't see because I'm in the share here. I'll have to stop here and see you in the chat. What do we have here in the chat?
Yeah, we have a question from Govinder, but I think it's the question he asked already here with audio, right?
Yes, Professor, you answered it.
Okay, thank you. So just finishing off here on here, question answers. If you have any questions, answers, right? So I have a little quote here. Don't tell me I can't do it. Tell me how I can do it. Teach me, train me, show me how I can do it. Now, what you know and what you do are 2 different things. Okay. Also, I created a free LinkedIn banner for students if they want to use this as their banner on LinkedIn if they don't have one. You can also change it or add your own to personally brand your own. And your headshot would probably be just right underneath the graduation hat here. we all look forward to our amazing students at Alpha College when it comes to graduation time and being on LinkedIn.
Phil, how the students can get access to the banner?
How?
Yeah, how they can get access to the banner you created?
I can take it off the PowerPoint and then just do it as a separate one. And then if you want, I can probably send it to you and you can put it out there.
Okay. Yes. As this presentation is going to be recorded, we can send also to the students.
Yeah, we have to mail the professor about the logo.
I can't hear. What was the question?
Professor, do we have to mail you for the logo?
No, I'm gonna send it to Davey, and he's gonna you'll get it out to them, or you'll post it somewhere.
Yes, maybe I can get it to the students.
Yeah.